What If Episode 2 is here, and I can firmly say that it is miles better than Episode 1. This episode asks the question, what if T'Challa was a Star-Lord? So this time around, instead of Peter Quill being taken into Yondu's ship, it's T'Challa, because Yondu sends his henchmen to do the job, and they don't know how to tell the difference between other humans, so they take the wrong kid. I love how this episode started out with essentially the opening scene of Guardians 1, with Star-Lord stealing the orb, and Jamin Hansu is back as Korath, and he was definitely a highlight of this episode. His character had so much energy that really brought this episode alive. There are two reasons why I think this episode is much better than the first. First off, the pacing feels much better. The plot is given a chance to breathe, and characters are given their time to shine and have their deeper moments, instead of rushing through story beat after beat just to get to the end of the episode. Secondly, this episode actually shows how the world around the characters has changed as a result of the changed timeline. In the first episode, we didn't get to see much of how Captain Carter being created changed the rest of the world. In episode 2, we get so much more. First off, Yondu is still alive and will most likely remain alive in this universe. The Guardians of the Galaxy will most likely never meet or happen due to T'Challa not being hunted for the orb by Rocket, Groot, and Gamora. In this universe, Drax is working at a nightclub and his wife and daughter are alive. Nebula is also here, and she's got a full set of golden hair, and it seems like her and T'Challa have had some sort of romantic relationship because she keeps calling him Cha-Cha, which I found incredibly cringeworthy, but I can look past. Easily the best part of this episode was seeing Thanos just chilling with the Ravengers. Apparently in this timeline, T'Challa found a way to explain that there are other ways to allocate planets' resources. Seeing Thanos came as a huge surprise to me, and he was easily the standout of this episode. Josh Brolin returns to voice the character, and it was so funny hearing the jokes they were making about how Thanos' plan on doing was basically genocide, but he's like, oh no, it's not genocide because it's random. I was totally not expecting to see Thanos here, and a significantly weaker Thanos at that, but I guess that's what happens when you don't have the power of the Infinity Stones. There's also an entire subplot about the Collector, again playing off more of what else in the universe would have changed, and he's collected things like Cap's shield, Thor's hammer, Hela's helmet. Things like this make this series great because they can explore alternate timelines and show us wild and crazy things we never thought we'd see, while still being meta enough to acknowledge the real timelines. This episode actually had heart and a good message about family. And overall, it was just a really great episode. It had good action, was really funny, executed on the concept perfectly, and it gave us one last chance to hear Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa. Overall, episode 2 of What If is significantly better than the first, and if the rest of the series can continue in this direction, I'm on board the entire way. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next review.